Chelsea FC Women have officially appointed Phil Radley as their new sporting director, marking a significant structural shift inside one of Europe's most dominant women's football programs. The decision comes shortly after the departure of longtime general manager Paul Green, whose influence shaped much of the club's modern era. Green's exit left what many described as a power vacuum at the top of the organization. Given the increasing professionalization of the women's game, leadership continuity is no longer a secondary matter, it is strategic infrastructure. Stability off the pitch now directly affects performance on it. Many observers expected Paul Winstanley and Lauren Stewart to absorb the responsibility. Instead, Chelsea chose a more specialized approach, reinforcing the importance of having a dedicated executive focused exclusively on the women's structure. This signals that Chelsea women are not merely maintaining their model, they are recalibrating it. The club's hierarchy appears determined to future-proof the project rather than simply preserve past success. Phil Radley arrives with a decade of experience at Danish Super League side FC Nordsjælland. His trajectory inside the club evolved from legal counsel to chief operating officer, and most recently, director of football, a progression that highlights operational depth. Nordsjælland is widely respected for its data-driven recruitment model and long-term talent development philosophy. Radley's involvement in that ecosystem suggests a profile aligned with modern sporting governance rather than traditional executive management. Importantly, Radley stepped down at the start of the current season and has spent the past 6 months away from the game. That pause could indicate strategic reflection rather than disengagement, a reset before entering a higher-profile environment. His appointment reflects Chelsea's interest in structural intelligence, not just football reputation. This is a move about process, planning, and sustainable competitive edge. In his first statement, Radley emphasized the challenge of building on an already brilliant club. He highlighted both the present competitive demands and the long-term structural needs, language that signals strategic thinking beyond immediate results. He specifically mentioned working alongside Sonia Bompastor, the players, and staff. That detail matters. Modern elite teams function through executive technical alignment, disconnects at that level often derail otherwise talented squads. Radley also referenced the winning mentality within the squad. That suggests his role will not merely be administrative but culturally embedded, protecting the competitive identity that has defined Chelsea women in recent seasons. His public tone was not symbolic or ceremonial. It reflected an executive mindset focused on scalability, continuity, and sustained dominance. Women's football is entering a phase of accelerated commercialization and competitive density. The margin between Europe's elite clubs is shrinking as investment increases across England, Spain, France, and Germany. Chelsea cannot rely solely on historical strength. Recruitment efficiency, contract management, pathway integration, and global scouting are becoming decisive battlegrounds. The sporting director role now carries more weight than ever. Radley's multi-department background, legal, operational, football strategy, may allow Chelsea to integrate financial discipline with sporting ambition. That blend is critical in a landscape where wage structures and transfer markets are expanding rapidly. This appointment may not dominate headlines today, but structurally it could influence Chelsea's competitive positioning for the next 5 to 10 years. Radley officially begins his role next month, entering at a time when expectations around Chelsea women remain extremely high. The club competes not just domestically, but with continental ambition. The next phase will likely focus on succession planning, squad depth optimization, and long-term talent architecture. Chelsea's model must evolve from dominance to dynastic sustainability. If Radley successfully integrates operational intelligence with Sonia's technical direction, Chelsea could solidify themselves as a benchmark organization in women's football governance. If not, the competitive gap across Europe leaves little room for structural missteps. In elite sport, executive decisions often echo louder than tactical adjustments. This is not merely a replacement hire, it is a governance statement. Chelsea women are acknowledging that sustained success in modern football requires executive specialization and structural foresight. Phil Radley's profile suggests a data-aware, process-oriented approach rather than a personality-driven model. The key variable will be alignment. If Radley and Sonia Bompastor operate with shared long-term vision, Chelsea could reinforce their institutional advantage in a rapidly evolving women's football market. If misalignment emerges, even a dominant squad can become strategically vulnerable. Ultimately, disappointment reflects ambition, not reaction. And in today's elite women's football ecosystem, ambition backed by structure is often what separates contenders from institutions.